So Overwatch has a new Halloween event. I've already done 3 matches. I've had a pretty crap run this morning, so I figured I'd record myself winning a few, seeing as when I record, sometimes I have some really good runs. I don't know if Shadowplay is going to work properly with Overwatch, because I've had some issues with it running with like an overlay. I don't know, it's weird. Worked well with Borderlands 3 the other day. It worked tremendously well with Borderlands 3 the other day, actually. I was really impressed. Really impressed. You know, because it's relatively easy to, it's relatively easy to record, but it's, at the same time, the technical limitations of whatever the hell it is they put into the software, mean, it's just brutal, man. It's just brutal to try and get a decent recording. But yeah, basically at the moment, I think the deal is just doing some account update stuff. The deal is that I've just got to roll with it and see if we can find something. That's very loud in my headphones. Apparently this is a busier time of the day. It is a Saturday. I know that Blizzard is very unpopular at the moment. I think that they've made some mistakes with this. I'm playing this game because Bobby Kotick didn't design this game. Bobby Kotick, or maybe he did actually, and if he did design this game, he's a very talented man, isn't he? I don't hold the development staff to the same sort of standard as the executives. I think that a lot of really good people worked on this game to try and make it good. Some of the executives might have made some really crappy decisions, but most of the people involved were really good. It's just a shame that Activision Blizzard have been so short-sighted, and that they are so scared of losing money in China. I mean, I can rationalize it. I can understand why. It's weird how Reinhardt the voice acting is phenomenal, but it's just so random that like they decide to have that that emotional voice line right before a typical match. It's just I can't even, man. I just want Activision Blizzard to just think more carefully about the. I guess they were gonna annoy someone either way, weren't they? Oh. Oh! I thought I had time. I thought I had time. Because there was actually no need for Activision Blizzard to get involved in China. There was no need for them to get involved, and they wanted to expand into a different country and sell products there. And they would have known the political climate. And they would have known that they would have had some issues if they tried to sell stuff there, and that if China had gotten a little bit too overzealous, it would have bit them in the butt at some point. But I just don't think that they cared. I think the money was far more important. You know, people like Bobby Kotick aren't going to be. They probably don't feel threatened by what's been happening. And I think they know that there's enough people addicted to the core gameplay mechanics of this. That what's going to happen is very little is going to change in the show. They're still going to have a player base. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, really. I mean, A lot of games, you know, in the 90s especially, were addictive in the sense that they were just very good. And they were very good value for money. In the 80s, games were insanely difficult a lot of the time. So most of the replay value came because you'd just be spending all your money trying to play it. Like, I've heard people say that games used to be better than this. They didn't. Games used to be terrible. There have been some terrible sort of, decision-making made by video game companies. Not just recently, but over time. The 90s were, I mean, maybe I can't imagine a time in the 90s where we were really screwed, but I know the 80s had a video game crash, because there were just too many gaming consoles being sold, too many people were getting involved. It wasn't great. There was room for improvement, you know? I guess part of the reason why we've been able to sustain this growth in gaming is because we've got a much more, like, international market than we used to do, you know? A lot more globalization, which means that, like, a while back, you might have had a situation where, you know, we could have had so many consoles made, but because the market was smaller, what would happen is that it wouldn't be sustainable. And now you've got people, they have no qualms about opening stuff up, and also you don't even need a... I mean, very soon with Google Stadia and stuff like that, and other streaming services, Nvidia Shield and stuff. I mean, to be fair, Nvidia Shield is a computer-based thing. But there's gonna be a point where you don't even need, there's gonna be a point where you don't even need to, have a computer or a console or anything like that. That's very strange to me. That is the biggest change for me, is the idea of not needing a console to game on, or not needing a PC. Just using your internet. Like, my brain can get, like, around it. I understand how it could work. It's still very strange to me. It's indicative of overconfidence. It's on behalf of Google and stuff, because they're assuming that the world is going to change to suit their needs. They're trying to be a market leader, but there's so much infrastructure involved in creating what's required for, like, an intelligent AI-based service like that. It's just going to require a lot more than simply releasing a product and expecting other people to be like, deal with it. You know what I mean? It's good though. I think that it's nice to see people trying to develop the idea of gaming. Because I don't know how they could have taken it further. You know? I don't think they could have taken it further. Like, consoles are consoles. It's already good enough. I think we're at an age now where there's been so much innovation that really, now it's like, why do we need more? How much more realistic do you want graphics? Like, how much more, like a computer, do you want your gaming console? Because the reality is, the technology is going to get to a point where you really don't even need to get a PC anymore, because the PCs might be good enough. But here's the thing: what I've realized is they're advertising 8K for Xbox, right? I mean, what they're doing there, right, is saying, okay, you want to do 8K? Cool. Well, we're probably not going to be able to do 8K, but we're saying we can kind of get there. And so what they're kind of hinting at is that they're leading you into, like, Sony's TV line of 8K televisions. They're like, hey, well, you know, right now, we're not doing 8K, but that's where the future's headed. And it's like, okay, Sony, we know what you're doing. You're not doing it for the benefit of the consumer. No consumer needs an 8K television, really. you know, can you imagine if the average middle-income household had a $10,000 television sitting there in their living room at the required size to be able to get 8K clear footage? Can you understand how stupid that would be? Unless you had a decent security system. That's getting stolen, man. That's getting stolen. Unless you attach it to the wall. But then what landlord is going to want to attach like a 100-inch television to the wall? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know why you'd bother. It's the weirdest thing to me. But they'll do it anyways, and so that's why there's a push. And like, 4K gaming isn't really even a thing for PCs. I mean, like, I can do 4K on my 2080 kind of, but I don't enjoy it. I prefer doing 1080p and maybe to, you know, 1440p. And yeah, sure, I have a Ryzen 2700X, and if I had a 9900K, I could probably do 4K 60 with most games. Not on like Epic. I can do 4K 60 with a lot of games on high, but of course you want Epic because you're not getting the most out of your GPU unless you're hitting it to the point where it's just crashing and stuff. And that's me being genuine there. I am a sucker for overclocking and stuff. However, I know how to do it properly. And I'm also actually pushing the hardware as opposed to simply making it so run so hot on the default fan curve that it shuts itself off and doesn't let. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. But yeah, so 8K with these new consoles, 4K with Google Stadia. Yeah, that's changing a lot. That's the first win, by the way. We've got 2 more to go today, and then I'll probably do the rest. I don't know, in another video. I don't want to do more than 3 a day. It's my Sunday today, man. It's a day off. My brother's got married yesterday, and it was a massive lead up to that. Like, so much work went into that, and I just, you know, I've actually had a pretty amazing. It's been amazing for me because I've actually, for the first time in 8 years, been completely out of debt aside from my student loan. And the reason I say completely is because the banks, nobody cares about your student loan in New Zealand. They just assume that you're going to have it. And they hope that you're going to pay it off by the time you're like 90. But every bit, I'm out of debt otherwise, and it's just beautiful, man. Because being in debt sucks. Like, because no matter how much money you receive, you know that you owe money. And it's just nothing, that money doesn't really mean anything much, because it's like, well, you know, I would have had more money if I hadn't gotten in debt. You know, despite the fact that when I was, like, 4 years ago, I was very unwell. And I was also not a very good, you know, I wasn't very good with money. I also was starting up a venture and, you know. Yeah, I agree, Roadhog. I would love to have a place where I could get some decent Chinese food. And it's like when I look at life now, it's like, oh, okay, so I'm out of debt now. How do I stay out of debt? How do you avoid it? Hi, buddy. Yup. They say that Reaper is a threat for Roadhog, but they've put in a hack where if you shoot him in the head, he's gonskis, man. Reaper isn't a threat. Or maybe I've just learned how to cope with him. Maybe that's it. I find Sombra to be a bigger threat than anything else. Tracer as well, actually.
This will improve your condition.
Marco. Polo. Marco. Polo. And so, like, you know, I'll he couldn't believe it. He was like, what? He couldn't believe that. He was like, what the hell just happened? No, No, leave me alone. I'll boop you. Aha. Oh, well done. But he didn't get killed by me though. I got killed by Zuzu Dragon. So I mean, I think what I'm gonna do, like for the rest of my life, is try and actively avoid that. And you know, like, as you grow older, there's like a few different kinds of things that you really want to avoid. You want to avoid, but you have to get into it, I mean, like, you've got, you got medical debt, like when you get old, but then that's why you get health insurance. Really important you get health insurance. Don't overestimate your body's ability to look after itself, especially as you get older. Especially because if you get involved in an accident, you couldn't have prepared for that, you know what I mean? Apart from if you had insurance. And it might be like an extra 30, 40, you know, maybe extra $60 a month. But then if you get sick, you're covered, my dude. And even if they don't want to cover you, you're more covered than you were otherwise. You know, like, what I mean is like, at least then you've got a chance at being able to cope with the thousands of dollars that you might be paying otherwise. Can you stop? Oh, close. Alright. Oh, nah, I think I'm done. Oh, that was a beautiful 180, man. My favorite thing to do at the moment is to jump and then spin and hook. Yeah, that is my favorite thing to do at the moment. I have a feeling, touch wood, that we might actually be able to do okay in this match too. But I think I'll just keep talking since that appears to be working for me. Like, my brother got married yesterday, and it's like, people were asking me when I was gonna get married. I haven't thought about that, dude. Like, getting married is... Like, after the amount of effort that they put into their wedding, I feel like I was a part of it by proxy, so... Like, for me to, get married anytime soon is such a heavy thing, you know? I wouldn't mind it. The regality of it and how... No. No. I should have. Don't. I've got to stop that. I run away. What the hell happened then? What happened then? No. Oh, I will get... No. Oh, that mercy is very good. Nope. Shoot. I've got to remember to keep shooting. I've got to remember to keep shooting. You've got to keep shooting because if you don't shoot, you're not doing damage. And at the very least, if you die, then they can just destroy who is trying to attack you, you know? Weddings are crazy, man. Like, you spend 18 months doing it, and then what happens is that you go to the venue. Oh my goodness. I went right through him. Gosh darn it. Thank you. That's two for two. Awesome. You turn up at the venue early, and then you talk to people, and then you sit there at the end, because I was the man of honor, you see. I'm the man of honor. I was the best man, I mean. That's kind of cute. That was really adorable. And so you sit there with the rings, after wearing the amazing outfit that I had to wear yesterday, because it was crazy, man. I was wearing like a rose salmon shirt and like blue pants and black it was good. You were good.
That's more like it.
It's been a while since I've got a 5 tick, so. And I wore like a flower, and I wore suspenders, man. Suspenders make you look like you're from the 1930s, and I think that's why. I think it's because maybe they were worn in the 1930s. It's pretty crazy. Oh, 1950s maybe. Like, it's pretty crazy. The other groomsmen and I were like joking about, joking about how we looked like we worked in like a journalist or something like that, you know. Just adjusting the mic again. There we go. And then you wait there for the bride to come, because you're standing by my brother, and my brother's losing. He's not lost his cool, but he's getting nervous because the bride's a bit late, and the bride turns up, and she's very excited for everything, and she's also crying, and then you hear them do the vows, and then what happens is that you have to give them the rings. Now, I think everyone made me nervous. So like, what you do is you give the bride the groom's ring, and she gives it to him. And then what happens is that you give the groom the bride's ring, and he gives it to her. Like they put it on each other's fingers. And I was tripping, because I was like, wait, you've already explained this to me like several times, but because I am just nervous now, how does it work? And that went well. I didn't stuff it up, which was good. But yeah, basically, it was interesting because, after that, we did bridal party photos and stuff, and poses and stuff, and, you know, then we had you know, we had all this other stuff happen, like we went and posed by a tractor, and then we went and posed by a bridge, and I drank a lot of champagne, man. And luckily for me, I'm old enough to know when I'm starting to get drunk, and I had to drive about 6 hours later on, so I was like, oh okay, I'll sober up, and I did. I drove home, and it was all good, no worries. Even passed by some police cops on the way home, and they didn't give any weird looks. And the thing is, I wrote this best man speech, and I was so stoked because people laughed, man. I got like a half-dozen compliments, man, and people were like joking about how I should start a career out of it and stuff like that. And it was like, it made me realize that that if you plan stuff out and actually put effort into it, it goes really well. It generally goes really well, and I made a few stuff ups. Like I spoke too loudly at one point and got told to shush, and then I didn't call one of the Bastion. I said Bud. You know, like I call people Bud, like kids Bud. How's it going, Bud? And she says, my name's Shaki. I can't say that. I can't use names. But yeah, it is good kids. It's all good. Very interesting time. Very interesting time. Very interesting time. Like I have to admit, it was good fun. And I'm not used to getting told off or told to shush. I don't cope with making mistakes very well, so I tend to freak out when I make a mistake. Because when I was younger, if I made mistakes, they were really not good, man. Like, I didn't have a great time as a teenager, and very anxious. Because I think about stuff pretty clearly, and I think about stuff a lot, I'm generally pretty good at avoiding making mistakes, but when I do, it sucks. I hate it, man. But I think it's just part of learning. You know, you gotta learn something from when you make mistakes. The mistake I learned from... What I learned from the mistake of talking too loudly was that I need to just not get carried away in the moment, you know? I need to not get too carried away in the moment. Sometimes I do. But aside from that, I think it was good.
Roadhog rides again.
I mean, maybe I just have a delicate ego. Maybe I do. But I also just like things to go off without a hitch. I'm gonna wait for these guys to come because I don't think it's great to do this by myself. I love the fact that Roadhog has got 2 hooks now. I mean, 6 shots, I mean. Alright, come on. I knew it! That guy is very good. Oh, no. Good. Good! You're problematic. You are more of a threat, honestly, than anything else, right? Because you're good. Go away. Go away. Oh my goodness, I don't know why. I'm going to go back to the start, aren't I? It's going to respawn me back at the start. No, it's not. Good. Awesome. That's good game design. I understand how they did that. So you have to wait 3 seconds or whatever, and then it does the respawn command at the new checkpoint. And whenever the timer updates, so whenever the round updates, it changes the location. I've been doing game design recently, you know? I'm starting to get a better kind of hang of it. I'd love to make a video game. And I will. I will. And I need to over the summer. I need to do something because I've been studying it for like a year or 2 now. And that's not a long time. I'm not saying I'll make a video game, but just something. Just a game. Just have fun with it, you know? Because the thing is, you've got to at least try to do something with the skills that you're developing. Something practical, otherwise that's just one less way of like... No, I'm sorry, I've won. I'm getting out of here, I'm going for this. Yeah, see? Oh, that was pretty scary for him actually. I think that guy was starting to get a bit spooked. Is this going to be 3 for 3, man? No, that was just so perfect, though. It amazes me that Overwatch has not... I mean, touch wood. I'm amazed that Overwatch hasn't corrupted. It's just... It's great. Yeah. Good. Not mad. Good, that's 2. Okay, careful. Okay, awesome. That's what we're looking for. Just hold your time. We've got 4 minutes. We don't need a rush. Oh, hey. Go. Oh, he's not dead. He's not knocked out. Cool. Now he is. That's it. 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Awesome. That's me done for today. that is me done for today. I'm very, very happy about that. That was awesome. Oh, yay, Papa Bastion. That's kind of cute. That's a shame. I just got destroyed by that fun. Alright. Go. That was good. I'll give him a vote. That was a good kill on me, man. But yeah, that is the event. So I might do another video on this tomorrow, seeing how we go. Tomorrow's Monday, isn't it? You got new skins like the Vampire and Inferno and you know, these guys and this and this. Some of these are pretty cool. Like, I like this skin a lot. And the demon one for Arisa is super duper cool. Not a massive fan of this one. Nah, neither this one. I'm glad that they're giving you like 2 skins to play around with. There's 3 weeks of this. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow if no one's around. I'm gonna have to do a few of these because of the fact that this organ music is kinda haunting, isn't it? For obvious reasons. Why is there a chain link fluttering in the... I don't know. Take care, see you later, see you tomorrow, and bye bye.